University football in Saskatchewan has been sidelined for this fall.
Fall sports are now being canceled.
All Canada West announced this morning it has officially canceled all fall sports for 2020.
Okay, when I clap, say your feet, throw. Right? Okay, you catch, you go in. Okay, you throw, you go to the back of the line. Sound good?
Tight enough. So really pull your hip. Inside the building, right? While still having that front foot, right? I'm still in a good position here, right? My shoulders are good. 7, right? Start 7 minimum. Gotta change.
You know, it's hard to kind of think, holy crap, how am I going to be as good as this guy in his 5th year? Typically in a normal year, you are thrown right into the fire in main camp, and things are moving fast because we only got 2 to 3 weeks to get ready for that first game. There's a ton of systems we're putting in, and it's a bit of a whirlwind for those first-year players. The learning curve is so steep, so they need to make sure they're listening, they're learning, and improving every day.
I expected to be pretty fast, but not this fast. Camp so far, it was a lot at the start. It was pretty fast-paced. It was definitely a big jump from high school. So it was really fast at the start, but now I feel like we're settling in. Things are slowing down a bit.
When he signed here, it brought a lot of excitement because watching him play live at the Canada Cup a couple years ago, we really were excited to potentially go after him, and he's really done a fine job of learning our offense and the systems and competing at a really high level right now.
Yeah, I know Anton. He's a really good kid. I think that he's the guy I anticipated when I recruited him. You know, he had some injury problems there going into his grade 12 season. He missed out on some of the Canada Cup and the Team Alberta stuff.
You just got to look at it as like a development year. You just got to keep practicing. You get to gel with the guys a bit, so that's good. That's always good, especially when there's not a year.
He's a winner, and that's really the key in what we're looking for in quarterbacks.
Dan, do you want to do a ball security presentation for everybody? Oh, this is fantastic. We cannot play football without learning how to hold a football, right? Vinny, are you excited for this? Oh, you're not. You're a freaking liar.
After Coach Floyd called me, it was only a couple weeks before I had made my decision. I mean, I had a few other offers too, but ultimately this was where I wanted to play. I wanted to stay home too, play for my hometown university. Just kind of the best of both worlds coming here.
A lot of times when the athletes are coming out of high school, they're pretty raw, right? They're not quite the finished product. Colton's a lot more on the finished product end, just because he's been playing with the Hilltops. He's 4 or 5 years out of high school.
It's completely new to him, the things that we do in our system. He's had a little bit of experience with the Saskatchewan Rough Riders at their training camp, so we've expected him to pick a few things up quicker than a regular first year would.
And I attended Rough Rider training camp twice, and in 2019 I actually stayed on their practice roster and played in 2 preseason games.
He's super coachable, a very humble kid. He's got some confidence to him as well, which I like. He's always having a good time, smile on his face, and he's eager to learn.
And you'll just be going straight through, and Nathan's through, and all of a sudden it's just going to be like this.
I didn't really know what to expect because I felt like I was a top athlete at the high school level, so I didn't know how I was going to compete here, but I'm pretty happy with how I'm competing. I obviously have a lot of work to do, but I'm pretty satisfied.
Young player out of Holy Cross that we got this year, a really highly touted rookie, and he's been all that's been advertised. He's been really committed, shows up every day, comes and plays hard. The bar was high for him, I think. I think he sets the bar high for himself.
He's smart. We knew that. He was coming out. He's a high academic achiever, 90s average kind of kid. So we knew that. You know, he not only excelled on the football field, but on the basketball court as well. And he's a really good athlete. He's a fantastic young man. I had a chance to you know, play with his uncle and lineage there, as well as being within Husky Athletics. So he's a great addition to our football program. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, my uncle Kurt, he played 5 years for the Huskies. He was a really good O-lineman and worked really hard. I definitely look up to him and use some of that work ethic that he's told me about, and honestly he's a good role model of what to do and how to succeed and stuff like that. They're super proud that I'm a Husky. My mom played Husky basketball, and I have a couple other relatives who have played Husky football, and honestly it's just a really honor to just wear the Husky logo and wear the green and white.
India wide over. Ottawa.
It's a big jump from playing high school football, but being prepared from a lot of these coaches within the U18 Team Sask Canada Cup, I kind of expected what it would be like, so that helped a lot.
You know, in a normal sort of practice scenario, at some point we'd be getting ready to play a game. We'd be into week 1, week 2, week 3, and the young guys just sort of get repped out. They don't get as many reps. We've got to get our guys that are going to be traveling or playing. We need to get them ready. So I see this as a big opportunity for young guys to get reps.
We get the opportunity to kind of prove ourselves and just really get used to the program and practice, get used to our practices, I guess, and get used to the playbook a bit more than if it was actual season where it'd just be go, go, go.
With Noah, the thing that really impresses me most is how he throws a football. You know, it's a quick release, it's a strong arm, he can place the ball anywhere he wants and can make all the throws. So getting him where he needs to be mentally and being able to understand defense and what we're trying to do with the offense and certain concepts is our focus, because we're not worried about his arm at all.
The Rams just kind of stuck out for me. Obviously, staying home, I've been born and raised in Regina, and just everything kind of fit with me. I like the program they have here. I love the coaches. They have great players too, and it just kind of seemed right for me.
The thing that he does best compared to his peers coming out of high school, you don't see many arms like that. I can't stress that enough. He throws the ball exceptionally well, so he's far above the par.
I'm liking camp so far. I would say yes, it's exceeded my expectations. The masks are a little bit unconventional, I would say, but making the best of it, and I'm very much enjoying my experience so far. The one thing that I've noticed from being on the Rams is that it's a very inclusive atmosphere. The veteran players are very motivational towards the younger players, and they encourage us to go harder, and they push us, and they're also our friend on and off the field.
I was 100% ready to come here. Like, I've been around some of the coaches and the players for like the last few years of my life, and like everybody's been just got tight relationships with everybody, so I was always 100% going to come here. Kind of get used to the whole process a little bit this year, because it's a little bit lighter. So this way, maybe for next season, like we'll be more used to how everything works, and it won't be as big of a jump.
This is where I wanted to play since I've been a little kid. I've always grown up watching the Regina Rams play on TV or going to their games at Mosaic, so this is always where I wanted to be.
This is a big jump. Jumping to university is the same thing as from university jumping to the pro.
It's almost like they get I can't even call it a redshirt season, because they, even in a normal redshirt season, they're probably not getting the same reps on your offense, but now they are. They're in, we're doing lots of Zoom meetings. When we get on the field, they're taking the same amount of reps as the person who's ahead of them in the depth chart. So.
Well, one of the things that I ask the coaches to do is I like them to grade the players every practice. And so it's interesting, because you don't get a lot of movement, but you do every once in a while. Somebody moves, and then I'll talk to the coach and say, why did you see that? Because there might be something that I saw as well, and then we can look at the video. And so that is an interesting observation that allows us to have a dialogue about what you like, what you think we need to be working on, as well as having that opportunity to spend some time with the player and do so.
Thank you. Yeah. I'd say I'm a big run-stop defensive tackle, but I also succeed in the pass, and I feel I'm very agile on my feet, and if they want me somewhere, I'll go get the ball and take it back, get it back for the offense.
Here we go. Solid, thick, maybe hasn't gotten to the point where he's developed like you would a university athlete, but now he gets the opportunity to see, because all of a sudden when we do have a chance to put shoulder pads on, that's almost like full go. We make sure we stay off the ground. But he has something. There's some fast twitch in there. He has good explosiveness, and he actually is very active with his hands.
I feel like I have so much more time with the coaches where I can just exceed so much more in a practice for the whole year, and to come back next year, hopefully we're playing games, and then I'll be able to succeed even more and like compete to my best of my ability. When I looked at U of A, they had my top 3. I had academics were number 1, football aspect, and number 3 was the brotherhood aspect around football. And U of A had the best academic program I could come to, especially with their academic support and the ability to support me as a student, but then also drive me as an athlete to excel.
I like to knock heads around, so it's my favorite part of the game. It's why I love the game, is for the contact of it. So yeah, I'm a run first guy, and so I'd like to work on my weak points, which is my pass, and so we got a lot of time to work on that and hopefully improve on that. So
we know that he's tough, aggressive, he runs really well, a fantastic long snapper, and so we're thinking he can be in the middle, or he can also be a guy that we would keep in the box.
I saw U of A as an up-and-coming program to attend, so I wanted to be a part of that up-and-coming program that was going to take a Vanier Cup eventually, hopefully in the next 5 years. So.
I came here because I like Coach Morris's philosophy and how the program was getting rebuilt up. So once I saw who was in my recruiting class, I was like, wow, I kind of want to go there.
Adjusting well and doing very well, and you know what? Again, a person that a great opportunity to be here, to know that not really quite sure where he's at yet, if he can stop, but again, each one of his practices from when we started to where we are right now, he's gotten better.
It's kind of nice because I get a buildup of what university football is like. So right now I can focus on classes, and football's kind of behind me, and it's kind of nice. It's just a slow, nice introduction to university.
You would expect or hope that some of the young guys go through the learning pieces process now and get all those out as soon as they can, so that when you come around to next year or in the spring, they're able to compete at the same level everybody else is, especially from a mental standpoint. That's usually the part that is the hardest for a younger player coming in.
It's a dream to start here and to be able to rep the Threads and rep this province. So I'm going to work my butt off to get there. I have some very good competition here on the team, so no slight to them at all, but I'm going to compete with them every day and hopefully assert myself as the number 1. I'm very smart. I take the playbook very seriously. If I could stay in the pocket all day and throw, I'd love to do that, but if I have to get out of the pocket and scramble, I have the ability to do that as well. So I'd say I'm a dual threat, but if I could stay in the pocket the whole day.
He asks a ton of questions, and then he combines that with a sneaky athletic body. He ran on at Harry Ainley. He was on their 4x1 track team, and I believe they won gold this last year, and so got a lot of athleticism with him, and a really kind of again a sneaky kind of arm. He played on a really good high school program, so he knows how to compete at a high level. So
I chose to continue my career at the University of Alberta because it's close to home. I got family here. Coach Morris made this place feel like home. They have a great education system here, and the team's on a good path to success. So it was something hard to say no to.
I'd say I'm very tenacious, aggressive in play, and hardworking.
Just a big ball of clay right now, I think. Uberly athletic, has the ability to run and has a little bit of a nasty streak in him when he gets there, so he gets there with a little bit of an attitude. So he's got everything you're looking for in a young lineman, for sure.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Do you guys want me to take
I'll
this?
come get that in about 20 minutes.
Okay, sounds good.
Great, thanks, sir.
I'm the one who decided. We have an opportunity for each individual here to get better, to be the best that you can be throughout this fall, to keep getting better. But more importantly, we have an opportunity to take advantage of the most unusual circumstances in the history of sport.
All of us were brand new to this the program, and we didn't really have that last year to get to learn the system and practice with all the guys. So this year we have a full year to do that without using a year of eligibility, so it'll be great. As soon as I heard the season was canceled and the team was still going to be practicing, I 100% decided to come, get to learn the system, and just get in the groove of things, so really no hesitation.
Yeah, I mean, they're in an extremely unique situation for sure. Now they have more time to learn the playbook and to learn the nuances of our offense and intricacies of it and the details of how we want things done. So for me as a coach, I'm gonna do as best as I can to really help them understand our system.
Noah Anderson's a kid we recruited really hard out of BC. He came here on a recruiting trip with a couple other high-end guys. We liked him a lot. He really came across as a good young guy. His film spoke for itself. He comes in, with a very good pedigree from BC, and he has a great opportunity right now. We're a little light on running backs, so he's going to get a ton of reps.
Well, Coach Dobie started talking to me when I was in grade 11, going into grade 12, and watched me play at Canada Cup, and I just really liked Manitoba and liked the fit, so I decided to go to attend University of Manitoba.
I'm a new guy just overall to football. I haven't been playing for too long, so any opportunity to play or just practice is a privilege. So when I heard that there's no season, I was not hesitant to come in to practice, and I'm willing to learn everything. So I was really happy to get that just attention before even an offer or anything, just because I'm getting recognized for something I take passion in, and Dobie did a really good job in emphasizing his appreciation for players who really put their heart on the line for their team, and I think I'm a player like that, so felt really good to be acknowledged in that way.
Honestly, didn't really know what I was going to do after high school for playing football, and then obviously Coach Dobie recruited me at a really young age, and finally gave me an offer senior year, and family and me talked about it, made the decision to come here. And
everyone else that's been through this program has never had a full year to get better, to get ready with this system. So us rookies, first-year players coming in, this is a great opportunity to prove ourselves. It's a great chance to show what we have and possibly, compete for a starting spot next season.
And so he wasn't one of those ultra heralded recruits, but we were happy to get him because we knew that he had great potential. And he's a guy that's a great example of someone who's going to come out here and make the most of this opportunity where we can slow things down. We can coach the guys that might be a little lower on the depth chart, give them a little more special time and attention.
I didn't know really what to expect coming into university. Getting the playbook down, getting an extra year without having to worry about the season, worry about starting, or worrying about all these little things. Getting in your playbook and just learning it extra whole year, it's going to be a really big advantage for us rookies.
We're competitive. Same thing, bring that same energy from the time we start the competition drill. Even our AD, let's get competitive within each other, and then let's go back and do it with our teammates. So let's go, bring it in. Compete on one, compete on one. 3, 2, 1. Let's go, baby.
Quarterbacks, go with the receivers.
What's happened now is that we've had a lot of time to spend on first-year players, skill development, having to learn the system. Normally, we'd be in the heat of the season now, and although their development is important, okay, it's not the priority, right? You're getting ready for an opponent every weekend, so they have profited somewhat by being able to get a lot more time invested in them at this point in the season.
So having the extra time right now to teach, it's going to benefit everybody, but it's going to benefit those young guys because often they're running scouts plays, they're running the opponent's plays, and they lose sight of what our plays actually are and forget what they are after some time.
Normally the normal pace of training camp is so fast. There's so much information being installed on a daily basis. It's easy to get overwhelmed. Pace is much different this year, right? We realize we're not getting ready for a game on Saturday, so we can afford to take a little bit extra time, be a little bit more patient, etc. Under normal circumstances, the time is compressed, and you're really forced to learn at a very rapid pace, and the kids have been able to learn a little bit more under more relaxed circumstances. May not have sounded that way tonight, but
it's already faster than high school, it feels, so it's kind of getting some new reps, and the film room's awesome. Taking in film, kind of different than high school, and it's good to look in the classroom and bring it out onto the field, so that's been very beneficial.
Quarterbacks' mistakes they're usually big ones, right? So when you're throwing the football, you throw it at somebody in a defensive jersey. That's not a good thing. So he gets immediate feedback on those. Well, there's a lot of pressure on Ben Mcdonald. I mean, you know, his dad was a Vanier Cup champion at UBC, and the two older brothers were Vanier Cup champs here as Dinos. So I mean, he's. But you know what? He's up to the challenge. He really is.
Go, here we go. Go, Blackie, Blackie.
I guess for me it was between football and lacrosse, and I'm just more passionate about football. And then Calgary, in my opinion, had the best program going in Canada, so I wanted to come here and be a part of the greatness, be a part of the Vanier.
Pass, in, out. Pass.
I wasn't getting a lot of recognition, and the University of Calgary, I knew a lot of the coaches here already. I knew a lot of coaches outside of the University of Calgary that knew them, so I had a lot of help coming in, and it just seemed like the right place and right coaches.
Playmaker in high school, you know, played receiver, played DB. Now he's focusing on the DB world, learning those trades. You know, he definitely moves really well. He's a smart kid. He's a hard worker. He's a motivated young man. We've given him some reps against some of the older guys, and he doesn't back down from the competition. You know, head-to-head matchup with another rookie is that he gets a lot of reps against Zach Smith, who's one of the top rookie receivers. And so I think the Smith versus Smith duo is going to be really good for us for the next 4 or 5 years in terms of pushing each other's to that level of excellence.
Just the championship mindset that they have here, obviously winning the Vanier and coming from winning in high school, just translates.
Well, you know, we recruited Zach as a big play guy. He's very athletic, very fast, very shifty. We think he's going to be a great complement to our receiving core. He's going to fit right in there, and you know, he's in there sort of earning his stripes as the moment as a freshman player, learning the system, trying to master it, etc. But he's already exuded some great athleticism and some great skills. So we're pretty excited about him being here.
My goal is just to get better every day and work on my craft and pick the mind of our coaches, Jabs in Dallas, who played here last year, and he's helping out. Just try to get better every day and add tools to my toolbox.
Calgary is just the historical dominance of the football team. It's just always Dinos football winning, Dinos football winning, Dinos football winning.
Cody's a big physical kid, incredibly athletic for his size. He was a field lacrosse player, so definitely brings that movement background to him.
You want to come up with it? I also really like the coaching staff here. The coaching staff, I knew I'd be fine with the D-line coaches, both of them, Pope and Warnock. They're taking care of me. It's a good blend of Pope giving some loving coaching, and then Warnock kind of slowing it down and quieting, just, hey, work on this a little bit better, hey, work on that.
He was a very interesting kid when we were recruiting him. You know, he came out for a visit, and he loved the fact that he learned some drills while we were here because he didn't have a position coach on his high school team. So he used to go on YouTube and learn his own drills.
My time with this year, it's no games. I can just develop at the pace that I am going right now.
I visited Ontario schools, so I visited Waterloo, McMaster, and like a few others. And I came down here, they said they'd fly me down. I'm just like, all right, for sure, right? I come down here, I saw the change room, the field, the coaches, everyone. So I was like, wow, like out here is different. So like, this is definitely the place.
Ready, go. Hit.
We're very excited about him being here. He's an exciting player. You know, he can run the perimeter play. He's not afraid to run it up inside. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. And, you know, he's getting onto the blocking as a marquee player in high school. You know, everybody else was blocking for him. Now he's learned he has to block for somebody else sometimes too. So
I'm so thankful for this year because last year I know like we wouldn't be getting like half of what we're doing right now. So I honestly getting better as an athlete. Just go as far as possible, right? CFL, NFL, right? On top of that, to succeed in like my books, my schoolwork, and honestly just do the best I can, right? Just improve myself as a person, as an individual as much as possible, right? So.
For real though, like we should demand that same intensity and that same attention and detail ourselves. Like we won the championship last year, and it was solely because like we paid that extra bit of attention to detail, right? So keep that in the back of your minds when you're watching the older guys go. Make sure the younger guys are always staying in tune, okay? 20% on 3, 1, 2, 3.
20%.
Yay, yay!
Let's go.
You're gone, Kenny, you're gone.
It's a free red shirt. It's easy. That's a no-brainer that is going to help every one of those players.
I tell the guys all the time, man, like I wish, obviously you lose a year of age, but I wish that I had a year where, football, the games didn't matter and I just had a chance to get better. But you can tell, kids who, they might need a little bit of seasoning, they have the right mentality. And so it's always looking for the kids who have that kind of, go get it, that motivation. We like to say have that dog in them, or I like to say that, they're a lion.
There you go. The only thing.
Yeah. Wait, what did I tell you? I'm a very competitive, high competitive person with a great motor, but on the field I'm kind of a calm and cool, collected guy. You're not gonna really get much emotion out of me. But with that being said, I'm highly competitive, as competitive as anybody else. It may not look like it, but my will to win is pretty high.
You look at Garrett, who's a two-way, 6A All-Star in Houston, from basketball to football. He brings a different level of athleticism that we've not had at this position before, so it's exciting.
Coming from Texas, he definitely has a lot more coaching than some of the other quarterbacks you can get here. So he's going to come in at with a higher floor.
What it looks like. Just go straight up.
He comes from one of the top football states in the U.S., where he's had tremendous success. He's probably played in front of larger crowds in high school than most CFL teams get. Texas high school football, Friday Night Lights, it's big down there. You play against some great teams. You play against 4 to 5 D1 players every single week.
Garrett's family knew about UBC and knew about the academics here about UBC. Garrett's father is a professor, I believe at Texas A&M. And so he sends all his PhD students here. So he had already kind of known a little bit about it. So, the procedure UBC kind of fit one shoe, and then we just kind of made the athletic part fit the other shoe, and it was a good match. So
UBC is a school that thrives on selling an elite academic experience. He fits that mold. I've grown up in a household where it's like we need more doctors and scientists than we need football players. So I kind of just, academics is my main focus always, and then football's there. And then competing at the next level, it's kind of brought this new kind of sense of just opportunity, and that comes with the opportunity to play at the next level. Hustle up, let's go. A lot of the difficulties when you begin university as an 18-year-old is transitioning, being away from home, dealing with hardships on your own, without parents right there.
I love working with first years transitioning, helping them get over all the hurdles that can come about, like homesickness or just adapting to the football style or adapting to the academic level at UBC. I think the most challenging part is to make sure that all of the football players, particularly the new ones, the freshmen, are adjusting to university successfully.
I definitely trust Coach Nell, and he really put it in my mind and my parents' mind that this is a place I could thrive off of.
He's gonna be a beast for us. He's probably like 6'4", runs like a deer, runs like a gazelle. So he's gonna be super good for us. I think he's gonna be a matchup nightmare.
Blue 18! Blue 18!
Burped. Relentless. I'm a relentless player, like in a positive way. Like I won't take no for an answer. If the defense is trying to stop me, I'm coming after you the next play and the next play and the next play, and I'll come out victorious. That's just my mentality.
Go!
Academically, it's one of the best schools in the world. And also, I have a good relationship with my coaches, Coach Neal, Coach Tracy. I like Coach Tracy a lot. I like the fact that he's straight up.
he does everything for me that I need to get better, and this is just the best place for me to be.
Good, go, Horse.
Okay, good job, good job.
Emmanuel's a great athlete, but I think even more than a great athlete, like he's just super hungry. Like, you know, from the day he committed, he asked Coach Tracy for all the film that we can get. You know, he's always attentive in meeting. He's always wants to learn more. He's always wants to get better.
Just as a person, I want to come here as a better human, have a degree from the University of British Columbia, and I feel like that's gonna put me in the right position to just be a better person and then be able to give back to my community back home and stuff like that.
I'm a believer that, you know what, Zoom recruiting is going to be here for a long time. And maybe, you know what, maybe it's going to become the norm, and, you know, we'll see, but I've been a big fan of it.
Okay, offense on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Offense!
Game!
If you have program ideas that you'd like to see on MaxTV Local, email us at max.local@sasktel.com.